We have the return of the Wanderer.
We are back, and it is Tuesday this time. Hello.
Piled underpinning for dummies out in Bollington, in Macclesfield.
Yeah, so the skip driver, he's going to have to wait there. That's a knuckle beam. What does it do? You two always get the nice and easy jobs, don't you?
Head on it home. You've only ordered 10 cube today. What your cube pump job?
Round at chin sparkling about. Oh, I burst out laughing, I couldn't stop laughing. It's not a crowbar.
Sometimes when you come on jobs, you have to play the game, the waiting game. It's been like 2 hours now. I just wish things would go in the order that they're meant to go sometimes. I feel bad on the lads more than anything, because they're the ones having to do all the graft.
Bit of a funny place for me to be in at the minute, because today's my last day.
Good morning, welcome to another week of Rhino Weekly. It is Monday. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode and the new format that we're putting it in, where you're getting to see the jobs from start to finish. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot more clear on what we do, being able to see it in that format. Even though when I watch myself on YouTube, I proper cringe. Like, I hate watching it. However, that segment I really enjoyed, and I think I'm going to do more of that. So I'm going to ask for an action camera off Jamie, put it in my car because I feel comfortable doing it while I'm driving around. I'm going to start bringing a bit more about the business and what's going on a week-to-week basis and general observations, and bring a bit more of that into the channel because I found it interesting just watching it back. So this week, what have we got going on so far? Well, we have some piled underpinning going on, which I know we definitely haven't brought to you on our weekly channel before. We probably brought it on YouTube videos and case studies, but definitely not in our YouTube channel. So Jamie, who's on the camera behind us, he's going to go out and film that today. We have Ace and Scott doing this job. We've got a extension in Salford we're going to get done, concrete as always. We have the return of the Wanderer. We have Canen returning, our extraordinaire cameraman. He comes back tomorrow, so it'd be nice to have him back. However, with this new format that me and Jamie are now running, it's going to mean a adjustment to his role and how he goes about it. So that'll be interesting because we don't need to film as much as we was previously. But from a marketing perspective, there's a lot of things that we can do in the business that we need to get on top of. We run our own SEO, we run our own case studies, we do a lot of outreach. We need to be setting up this internal emailing system on this new software we've done. So plenty of things for us to go at, so that'll be an adjustment for Canen. So that's everything so far that I know is going on this week. So let's see how we get on this week and how the week evolves. Over to you guys.
Good morning. It is Monday. All I know about today is something we've never shown on the weekly vlog. It's definitely something I've never seen before. As someone who is relatively new to the construction industry, I'm gonna try and break this down as easy as possible for anyone who's in a similar situation. Piled underpinning for dummies. We're with Ace and Scott out in Bollington, in Macclesfield. Also happening this week, we get our lovely Canen back, which I'm very excited for. Now, one of us can focus on next week and one of us can focus on last week. As we were before, but it's been good to actually know what's going on in the business, because since I've started I have been living in last week. Let's get ourselves to Macclesfield, see what we can film today. Alright, pop it. He's so cute. And I was just speaking to Scott and Ace there regarding the job today. So digging out some clay here to do some piled underpinning. Now we're only doing a few piles very close to the house here, and then connecting them just to keep the house up, because you can see along this house some cracks starting, meaning that good that they're getting this done. I was just walking through the area thinking, what a beautiful quaint village, lovely old buildings, but there must be problems like this going on with most houses in the area. with all this clay below it, and you know, it's a very beautiful place, but might take a bit extra work to keep it safe in the long term while we wait for the skip to arrive. Beautiful garden, by the way. These guys are living right.
Testing that out.
Huh?
We were going to put plastic.
Right, got
So
it.
shit will be down there.
Yeah, just make sure your beam's plenty under. I know the beam we're using is
that way
wide.
further,
Yeah,
so we get more of an angle. But
yeah. So you're on a shallower angle rather than a 45. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Fair
but
enough.
we'll take that out, put the file next to where it is,
Yeah.
and then
Just make sure you block.
yeah, I'll bag it up to me.
Yeah. Plot a bag over it and put some clay in front of it. If it's defunct, it's defunct now, and it's been buried for 20. What do you say, 20 years?
Yeah.
Where's it cracking this? Ah, that is
There.
And the brick,
There.
yeah.
the
But it's broke its back here because it's concrete for like 100 mil.
snaps.
It's just turned to sand. So obviously it's just pressed down.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's 200 mil thick there, and there it was a layer of just gravel and sand, and then it's concrete. So it's like when we gonna shit this.
Really.
Yeah.
I've never had a day like that. Did one in Whitefield with Nemo. He was using one of them little, you know, the ones we used to make out the old shovels that snapped on us. I had one of them in the van. He's using it like a crowbar.
Oh, it knocked him out.
Yes, round at chin, sparkling him out. I was on the phone to remember Aardvark Concrete, Ace.
Yeah.
Company called Aardvark we used to use for concrete. No, was it Aardvark? And I was on the phone to Mick, the guy who booked it all in. Oh, I burst out laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. Honestly, I know it sounds horrible, but I could not stop laughing because I was sick of telling him it's not a crowbar. But that actual house was in Whitefield, and every so often it had a column of bricks under the foundations, like somebody had dug down, built up some bricks to try and resolve an underpinning problem.
Is that a good idea?
Not really, no, because it's a pain in the ass. I had to break them all out.
It's the same thing. We had these without them on.
Yeah.
You know, like that was welly.
Oh, that was right. That was straight through his foot, wasn't
We
it?
were on it.
Did you take him to the hospital in Mac?
One of them did.
Yeah, I had to pick them up, it up.
Whoa.
You see right to the inside of his foot, like, oh.
See all the fatty flesh?
Yeah.
Oof.
Surprised he's, yeah. More often than not straight to bone with that skinny ass get.
So it's another day here at Rhino, and we have a special guest here today. We have Canen. Canen, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jamie, how have we got on without Canen?
It's been pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's been pretty hard for me. But yeah, it's been good to be able to sort of see the whole part of the process and like what goes into it. But yeah, demanding. That's the one word I'll give, demanding.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought you were going to say it's been really easy so we can get rid of it. Welcome back then, Canen. How was your holiday?
My holiday was great, thank you very much. I've watched every single episode every Friday because it would come out in the evening here, but in the US it was coming out, well, it was around 2 p.m. So I was easily 5 cocktails deep at that point, so I could actually then enjoy it.
I can feel the excitement in your voice when you was waiting for the episode to be released.
Every Friday, I woke up, I promise you, this is not, I'm not saying this because the camera's on, I'm not bringing this up. I would wake up in the morning on Friday and I'd be excited to see what had happened that week.
Oh wow.
It's weird, but I was really, well, it's different when you filmed it all, you're not as excited to see it because you've already seen it, you were there, you've lived it. Exactly. But I was actually genuinely excited to see what had happened. So I'm still even looking forward to this Friday's episode, which I have not seen yet, because I was not.
So let's flip the question then. How do you think Jamie did then?
I think Jamie did a fantastic job. Banter with the lads was good, almost as good as mine. It was a fantastic bit of cinema. No, I really enjoyed it. And I thought Brad's diary of last week's video, which was 80% Brad talking in the car because he forgot to film stuff, was excellent. I was expecting to see you in the gym like, right, so, right, I've got a busy day today, I'm a lot of stuff.
I literally said in the segment we filmed for this week that if I was an employee running that, I would have sacked myself my performance for that. In terms of like, you've got to do a week in a line, daily thing out, oh shit, I forgot every day. Yeah, well done.
So, I mean, I've been quite lucky that I've been able to build up to the sort of like filming every aspect of what's going on day to day. If something cool happens at the yard, go and film it. Or you'll very kindly go in, grab the camera, and we'll just go and film something that's happened. And it always ends up being really good content, at least in my opinion. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks, but I do enjoy every second of it. So I am glad to be back. I've enjoyed my holiday. Could have done with an extra, how long's the visa again? 90 days. Could have done with an extra 90 days in Florida, but come back to some beautiful weather, as you can probably hear in the background, wetting it down. But yeah, I'm glad to be back.
And I'm glad to have you back. And in other news, Canen's now back, and tomorrow I go Croatia. So, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
What is up, guys? Canen here. Kyle's wetting himself at me. See you later, man. We are back. I am back from Florida. I am very jet lagged, but we are back, and it is Tuesday this time. Hello. I've just walked down the stairs. There's only one way into that office, and I didn't see him come down the stairs. How do you do it?
Sneaky and silent, mate.
God, it's no wonder Sean told me that story about you jumping out of a bush.
Jumping out of a bush?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I just don't remember. I've jumped out of so many bushes.
This is Project Lord, and you will see me arrive there now. You two look fucking fed up. Bad one. I'm now filming this because I've never seen one. That's a knuckle beam. What does it do? I'm confused.
Like cantilever, so you put one pile in, that goes under the house, sits on the pile,
Right.
and then you have that shepherd's hook that goes straight down it, wraps over the top, and pins it down at the back.
Ah.
So then when the weight of the house hits it, it's cantilever.
That's quite cool actually. I've never been on like a proper piled underpinning job before. That's why
We don't do that many, so...
there's some bees around here. Oh, okay. That's a lot of clay. So when do they start? Your pottery lessons?
Oh, good. We do that ghost thing, me and him.
Oh Jesus, yeah, go on, I want to feel it on camera. Oh Christ.
That's only half of it.
30 kilos about, isn't it?
I'm learning. I've been going to the gym. You guys need to stop being so good at your jobs, because this is now the second job I've turned up to where you've finished all the piles and I've turned up and you've gone, you may as well turn Right, I didn't know it was an Ace and Scott job until right before I was leaving, because we had to film some stuff this morning. So it couldn't be helped. Can someone take this off me now? I don't want my first day back after an holiday being an injury. So three piles? Did it go in all right?
Yeah.
Driven all the piles, and it's not even 11 o'clock yet, so that's pretty good going. When's concrete due? 2 o'clock. Sound cool. That's a good point. Yeah, we've got to get rid of this massive pile of clay first, which is already a debacle in of itself, wouldn't it? You have to get a permit to put a skip on the road, and the permit takes 2 days to get, so hopefully they'll have that by now, right? Yeah, so the skip driver, he's going to have to wait there so it's legal, and then they're going to have to load all of this into his skip, and then he can go. You two always get the nice and easy jobs, don't you? So 3 piles to a depth of, on average, about 3.5 meters. I need to get out of the habit of turning up to Ace and Scott jobs late, because this is the second time I've driven to a job and they've finished piling. Luckily though, there's plenty more to film. We have concrete due this afternoon at 2 o'clock and a skip coming before then, so that we can remove all of the clay from, well, the garden. As far as piled underpinning jobs go, we did one last year that was in a pub cellar, which was a much bigger job than this. So even with the few setbacks, it should be completed today. So it's going to be barrows. I might have to push a barrow today, we shall see. Those who have seen the episodes before know that I'm not shy to do so. I don't know about Ace and Scott though. Would you push a wheelbarrow full of concrete? Always. I like it. All right. So unfortunately, sometimes when you come on jobs, you have to play the game, the waiting game. Things come in steps, and there's often 2 or 3 different businesses taking part. So today it's 3 different businesses again. We've got the piling guys from RHINO, of course, and then you've got the skip company, because they don't have a permit for this road. It takes 2 days to get, so the driver's going to have to sit with the skip on his wagon, so it's technically allowed, and then they've got to fill it. But they were meant to be here first thing this morning. They aren't yet, so they're making the call now. The cages have gone in, as you've seen. They don't always turn up on time. If you've watched our videos before, you'll know this. They don't always turn up when they say they're going to turn up. Hopefully today is an exception and everyone turns up on time going forward, because the skip company isn't here yet. It's just it's irritating for me from a filming perspective, because I want to be as efficient as I can be when I'm on site. I want to be able to turn up right when the job begins, and I want to leave right as it ends. And then I can say that I've filmed the whole process, start to finish, had a stop for lunch, had a chat with the lads, and then I can go home and my job's done. But it's even harder for these two, because they have no choice but to wait here right up until they find out whether or not the job's getting finished today, or it's going to have to be pushed on to tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Today I think we'll be absolutely fine, but I guess time will tell and we shall see. It's been like 2 hours now, still no skip, and concrete's due in about 50 minutes. So I'm going to check on that. Has Neil called? He has. Uh-oh. What's the situation?
The skip's going to be here same time as concrete.
Right, so the skip's coming at 2 o'clock, concrete's coming at 2 o'clock. It's a good thing it isn't like a 7 cube job, isn't it? Luckily it's just those 2 underpins. 0.8. How did they, no, I'm not even going to ask.
They said they'll be here in an hour.
It's about 1:10, and Neil, not 5 minutes ago, called Ace and Scott then to let them know that the skip company has said they'll be here within the hour, or within an hour. So right around the same time concrete's going to be here. And I don't know if you can tell, but this isn't the most spacious of streets. So we're going to have a skip wagon that can't drop the skip and leave it because it doesn't have a license to do so, and a concrete wagon at the same time. I just wish it wasn't the first job back after my holiday, after my nice long holiday. It's just a matter of time and it'll all be sorted. I spoke to the homeowners before, just making sure that they were all right with me I was just making sure the homeowners were all right with me filming. They said it's not a problem. They just asked how they can go and watch it, which is always nice. Yeah, it's literally, I can't film anymore. I've just got to wait until a skip wagon and a concrete wagon arrive. The next time you see this is going to be a concrete wagon. Told you. Concrete is here and the skip is not. Oh, I just wish things would go in the order that they're meant to go sometimes. I feel bad on the lads more than anything because they're the ones having to do all the graft. But at least the weather's nice. If you can't tell, it's drizzle. So, that was Project Lord, shot by yours truly and Jamie. They achieved what they wanted to do. They had some setbacks with the skip, didn't they?
Waiting for 2 days.
2 days for a skip. I know it's tricky with the permit on that road, but you know, this is a prime example of what the lads often have to deal with themselves, and they have to chase things up, and then the company will tell you one thing and they may not do that necessarily. For the rest of this week, it's just you and me, baby. Can we manage? Can we do it? Of course we can do it. Of course we can do it. By the way, the skip did actually eventually arrive, despite the concrete going in without the skip necessarily being needed. We managed to find a workaround for the concrete just by going around the clay. The irony of the situation was that as I was leaving, having gotten the content that I needed, the skip indeed arrived immediately after the concrete wagon had left. There's another one off the roster. That's the first order of business handled this week. Let's see what's on the second order of business. What's the second order of business? Huge concrete job in Bramall, Stockport. Not one, not two, but 3 concrete slabs for the same property, none of which are in the house, by the way. One small one at the back, one very large one, the width of the house at the back, and then another one on the side, totaling a very large number of concrete, but I won't spoil it for you. Let's give Aaron a call, see how long it's going to be until he's landing at Bramall for this concrete job. Is that all right? He should call me back. Just trying to figure out when he's getting to this big 10 cube job for Henshaw's in Woodlands, Bramall, Stockport, because I think that'll be some good content. We'll see if he calls back. If not, I'll get my stuff ready and I'll just get ready to meet him over there, and I'll just get an estimate of time, how long he's going to be. And then, fucking, I don't know, do my job, I guess. Right, well, here we are. Yeah. Lovely little chair to sit down on, that's nice. Okay. This doesn't look like 10 cube. Oh, there's more.
Fuck me, that's 10 on its own. Mate, you're talking 15, 20 cube.
I said 15.
Fuck that. You've only ordered 10 cube today. That's going to be 10 on its own. Never mind that and that. It's going to be about 17, 18. Well, I don't know. All of it is going to be about 18 cube. 20 odd cube pump job. I told Neil that this morning, he went, it's fully doable. But this is going to take 3 loads.
It's absolutely going to take 3 loads, 100%.
The pump job all day long.
2 full loads at best today.
That's 14 cube. But I've not got a full load on because I've just got to go and do 2 cube.
Yeah, no,
2.8.
Yeah, you've done 2.8, did you say?
2.8.
Concrete, baby!
Look at that.
Not bad. Come on, man. YOLO.
Ah, he's got the sexy vest on.
Can't smile anymore, I'm not pissed off with the fucking job.
Fuck. I haven't touched anything, I'll say that. Oh, there you go.
Not even a fucking cube yet.
Right, we've got a Rhino wager on. How many more barrows until this first hole is full? Johno reckons 4 more barrows. I'm going to say 8. Aaron, when Aaron's got a second to catch his breath because he's been pushing fucking barrows non-stop since he got here, we'll ask him as well. Yeah, he's going to let us know. Have a good look. Take as long as you need. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah. Shit, Kate.
6 to 8, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Alright, where do you want to go then? Do you want to play middleman? You say 6, I say 8, he says 4. 7, alright. Awfully safe bet that, isn't it? We shall see. What does the winner get? What should we get?
20 minutes on a lever.
Done, done, done. 20 minutes on the lever for whoever wins this wager. They've had about 5 cubic metres so far, which doesn't sound like a lot until you see how much concrete they've put in the hole. Going back to reload now.
Still got a smile on the face. Anyway, let's get going. We're back. I'm going to quickly load up, full load, and then put straight back. Let's go back to the site then. Let's have a look. What's making that funny noise? Right, so the drone's just died now. You can see the concrete on this one is drying and curing.
And the concrete manager that's done it all.
And the concrete man himself, Mr. Concrete.
Manager, not man.
Concrete man.
Manager.
But it's curing over there. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? It just shows you how long it's taken us to do it. Well, I say us, you. I wouldn't want to risk it, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Well, look at that. Was you that what on that fucking Corky Brow with us?
Yeah.
Where by the time we've gone back to load and come back, we were walking on it.
Really?
Yeah, mate, we'd only got to load up.
Jesus. It's good concrete, that.
Yeah.
Lots of cement. So I think we'll call it a wrap for the day. They are going to have to go back and reload for that third one, but we're getting to end of day and I've got something I've got to handle after work today. So, and it's time sensitive. So it's nice to see these two parts of a 3-part concrete pour done. Not every job's obviously one hole, but there's been 3 slabs that they've had to do today and they've managed to get 2 done and they're coming back for the 3rd, so it's pretty good going. They've done very, very, very well. Very well. I think we'll wrap that for this week's Rhino content. So there you have it. Aaron and Johno coming in clutch for the company once again. They weren't best pleased with the fact that there wasn't a concrete pump. Either a line pump or a boom pump would have been fantastic for this, just with the scale of the job. But they didn't complain. They got in there, they got stuck in. I helped them push a few barrows, but honestly, these lads were working their little trotters off on this job, and they did a fantastic effort. The customer is a usual customer of ours, and they were once again really, really happy. There is a reason that they keep calling and picking the phone up to call us to ask us to do the concrete, because they know that they can rest assured the job's going to get done. They looked after us, and they did whatever they could to make sure that we were working in good conditions despite the challenge ahead. Really, really, really well done to the guys for doing that. As you could see, it was a monster of a job. And that concludes this week for Rhino Weekly. Next week
we're going back to a familiar place. We're going to see Operation Pinewood. I'm heading out to film that one, and then we've also got Ashton Old Road, which is an ongoing project which you haven't seen anything of. We've been keeping it very secret because it's going over a few weeks now, but we're finally getting the concrete on there. Basically what we're doing is putting in a new terrace house between 2 terraced houses.
So there's 2 enormous operations that we have coming to you next Friday. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to us already, subscribe, and I'll do you one better, get the bell on, because we don't post something every single day. You'll always get notified on a Friday in the evening, ready for the weekend, when we've got our episode of what we've been up to recently. If you like this sort of content, you are missing out if you haven't hit that bell. So please, for me, hit that bell, subscribe to us. The content is only going to get better from here. We're ever growing with every single day that comes by. We're getting better at this whole marketing. Right, done?
Yeah.
Cool.
Where do you think Brad is right now?
It's been another busy week here at RHINO. I've carried on running the concrete and Neil has come back, so he's took back over the piling. Things are moving in the right direction, starting to get some systems in place, and it's a bit of a funny place for me to be in at the minute because today's my last day. I go on holiday tomorrow for, I think it's 9 days. So it's quite good in the sense that I think I've hit my limit of work and diet and going to the gym, so I'm definitely ready for a rest and to reset. And I know that when I come back, I'll work to a higher level than what I would if I continued. And I know while I'm off, I will probably think of loads of things on this concrete to implement, and then when I come back, I'll have a list of stuff to implement into the business, as well as a renewed energy to go at it. So that'll be good. Yeah, so I guess this is me signing off, and it's over to the guys who look after everything. I won't hear anything from piling of concrete now. No one will ring me, and things will just run in the background as they do. I did want to mention one thing though that I brought up, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, where I was on about not being paid off of people, and how it's not just a matter of you're not being paid $5 so you got to find $5 to replace it. That's not the case. You've then got to find either 50 grand or 100 grand to replace that 5 grand, because it doesn't work that way. It's you've got to earn the profit to do it, not the turnover to cover that money. And one of the things that I did want to discuss is in relation to hire and materials and tools. Some of the things that we have got a lot better at, leaving materials on site and leaving of tools, especially small hand tools on site, and then having to replace them all the time, and just not looking after stuff the way it should be looked after. So we're spending a lot of time and money repairing it. And the thing is, and one of the things that I try to get across to the guys, is that if we leave, for example, one piling tube behind, let's say, I don't know the cost of them at the minute, but let's say one of those tubes costs £15. In reality, using that example that I used where you've got to use the profits to replace that material that you've then lost, essentially that piling tube costs us £150–200 just to leave one there. Now I remember probably about 18 months ago now, we was doing a job up in Lancashire, and the lad that we're doing it isn't with us anymore, and he just left about 20 piling tube there, or maybe 30. Just left them, just couldn't be bothered loading them up. And I look back at things like that and think, wow, at the sort of cost of tube, in fact it's a lot more than £15 a tube, I do know that. If you start working it out on that basis, that tube was probably like 5 to 10 grand that I would have had to find to replace. Now the lads are getting better at it, but they're not perfect, but we are getting there. So hopefully we will make sure that materials are coming back and tools are always going back on the van, so then we're not replaced. And we put one of the things we did in January is we created a back room of the tools, and we created sort of van checks and set the equipment out for the lads, so everyone's got the same equipment on every van and they're all responsible for it. So we're moving in the right direction. Because one of the other things is, in terms of equipment for the lads, I like the lads to have the best equipment available and the best maintained equipment, and to have everything they need to fulfill their job. We're not a company that kind of goes, make do with what you've got. I like them to have the best stuff so they can perform to their best, and I don't mind purchasing something that's better and more expensive if it means we will get a better or more efficient result. That's how we work as a company, and things do break, and I have no issue with that. Things break, that's just part of what we do. And when they break, all they have to do is bring it to us and we'll get it repaired or replaced and we'll give it you back. Like I say, that's just part and parcel of the industry that we're in. But what I don't like is when stuff just goes missing or it's just not cared for, and then we're just spending money that we shouldn't have to do. But in essence, I want our guys to have the best equipment possible and the best maintained equipment possible so they can deliver the best job possible. The other thing that I don't like, and I really do hate this, is hiring stuff. So we had a thing a few weeks ago, and I keep spares of everything. So we've got 5 piling teams at the minute. We've got 7 or 8 petrol welders. Now obviously we don't use multiple at one time. The 2 or 3 we've got are spares, because they do break, and when they break you've got to get them repaired, and then instead of hiring one, we just use one of our spares while the other one's repaired and it comes back. Because I hate hiring stuff, because the cost of hire is very expensive, and most of the time I find that by the time you hire stuff for a prolonged period of time, you're not a million miles off buying it. And we went through a little stage recently where, and it was welders, we ended up having to hire some, and that's because we weren't turning around the repairs on them quick enough. So we had to be like, come on guys, either turn the repairs around quicker, or if it's not physically possible because we don't have enough spares, let me know. I would rather buy another welder than hire another welder, because over a year you'll spend more on hiring a welder because you're one short of what you need in spares than you will to buy a welder. I don't like hiring stuff unless we have to hire stuff where it makes sense. So for example, it doesn't make sense for us to move one of our say our 1.5 ton excavator an 8-hour round trip for a 2-day job, when we could hire one locally, because the cost in fuel, time, wages, 2 trips there and back to move it, another person out, it just costs you more to move it than it does to hire it. On those ones it makes sense. So there is a place for hire in our business, but not in terms of hiring to cover things that have been broken. The other thing about hire is so obviously we've not always had all the plant and excavators and things we've had, and we have had to hire stuff in the past, but when we do hire it, I guess if we started hiring something and we started hiring it regularly, I would pick up on that very quickly and be like, right, we need to buy this, because we're getting to the point now where the hire is going to cost us more than the cost to purchase it. So the 1.5 ton digger that we actually had, that was being hired from a company local to us. We were just bouncing from job to job on it, and our 3 ton digger was out at the same time. So I contacted the hire company and I said, do you want to sell it? And we had a bit of back and forth over a week, and I couldn't quite get to a figure with him. So in the end, I actually drove to the hire place and spoke to the owner. It was an independent one, and we came to a deal based upon sort of, he'll do this repair on it to get it better, I'll pay this much, because that's the number he wanted, but I wanted the machine to be right. And we came to a deal and we bought it. And that's one of the ways that we end up acquiring stuff, is we find that we're hiring it, and then suddenly the balance tips where we go, we're just wasting money hiring this here, so we should buy it. So kind of me, I won't say this one's so much of a rant, but probably one of the things that I just want to share with, number one, the guys, to help them understand why I go on about making sure we bring materials, equipment back, and this stuff about hiring small tools and equipment, and why I don't like doing it, and also where hire does have a place in our business. So this isn't directly aimed at anyone, because compared to like that example I gave 2 years ago, our hire costs and stuff we're leaving behind was ridiculous. We're just so much better than what we used to be at it, but we're not perfect. We do have room to improve. Anyway, that's us signing off for this week. I'm off on holiday for 9 days. I'm sure the guys will get on great. There is a really good project coming up. It'll either be next week's episode or the week after, and we're doing some screw piled underpinning, and this is something that I personally haven't done before. Shame I'm away, because I would have loved to seen it, but we have all the equipment, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how, we have the guys in the office with that experience, we have guys in the field with that experience, but it's something I've not personally done. So I would have loved to have seen it, but I guess I'll watch it on the episode the same as you guys to see it, and I'll get out on the next one, so that's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And this is me, over and out, going on holiday to enjoy myself.